Hi, I'm Brian. Kettle's on, make yourself a cup of tea. Now today I want to talk about this article in Bounding into Comics. It's an article on Chuck Dixon, explaining what Amazon is doing to Lord of the Rings and calling it an abomination. Now Chuck Dixon is a long-time comic book writer, probably better known for his work on the Batman comics. Now the article does say, famed Batman writer Chuck Dixon explains what Amazon is doing to Lord of the Rings is an abomination. Prolific comic book writer, known for his long runs on Batman, Detective Comics and The Punisher, recently shared his opinion why he believes what Amazon is doing to Tolkien and Lord of the Rings is an abomination. Dixon, who also adapted Tolkien's The Hobbit into comic book form, sat down for an interview with European Law where he was asked his opinion on the current state of film and TV adaptions. Dixon responded, "The state of contemporary adaptation is pretty miserable, film and television, because they want to change the work. They find things in the original source material that offend them, or that they feel don't fit in our postmodern sensibilities, and they alter them. And it's a crime. It's a crime," he added. Dixon would then specifically address the upcoming Lord of the Rings Rings of Power adaptation from Amazon Prime Video. He said, "What Amazon is doing to Tolkien is an abomination. The people doing the work obviously don't understand the original work. They are adding elements that are very 2022 to it, that 5 years from now are going to appear laughable. They're taking a timeless tale and setting it basically in our contemporary zeitgeist. And it's just wrong," he explained. Dixon went on, "So many of these things. I mean, when they do stories set in history, and they want to update the attitude of historical characters to today's mores, it doesn't work. It's not right, it's not accurate, and in the end it's not entertaining, because there's the sameness to it all," he stated. And the rest of the article is him discussing his work on the Hobbit comic and how it came about. But it was this part what I found interesting, him calling out bad adaptions and naming Lord of the Rings as one of them. And he's right. I mean, writers, producers, a lot of them today, not just in TV and film, but in the comic industry as well, a lot of the newer people that have come in, they want to create something that's going to last, but they don't want to put the effort in to make something new. So we've seen it over and over again. They move into existing IPs and throw out anything they don't like, so they can alter it to fit a story which they want to tell, rather than making something new which they can have their own characters and their own rules and their own laws for. They'd rather just strip down existing IPs, throw in what they think the IP should be about, and then when people don't like it, rather than saying, "Yeah, we made a mistake," they just turn around and say, "Well, it's not for you. You're racist, you're sexist, you're misogynist, you're this ish, you're that phobe," whatever they can throw, because they can't take that they're wrong. So I do agree with him. It is wrong how they treat IPs, and they do it to historical dramas as well. There was a series last year about Anne Boleyn, one of Henry VIII's wives, who was executed. They race swapped her out. In real life, Anne Boleyn was a white woman, and they race swapped her out for the show, so it was a black woman. I mean, it was for no reason other than because they could. I mean, they couldn't change the outcome of the show. And I did hear that the show bombed and it wasn't very good. So if they can't take historical events accurately, then we've got no hope for them adapting works of fiction accurately. Going back to The Lord of the Rings film trilogy is beloved by almost everyone. It is a fantastic trilogy of films. I personally just view it as one film, but it is brilliant. It's going to hold up. It's going to stand the test of time. This Amazon show, The Rings of Power, it's not going to last as long. They're not sticking to the law what Tolkien wrote, and they're doing things because they want to and because they can. Well, yeah, that's fine if it is your own idea. If you've created this world, that's absolutely fine. But when you acquire an IP to adapt it for film or television, the existing fans of the IP expect a certain level from it, and after being fans of it for so long, they do have a right to expect a certain level from it. So when people come in and change it and change everything about it, then the fans, rightly so, are going to be annoyed and offended. But rather than take these criticisms on board, the showmakers, writers seem to double down every time and attack the fans, which normally leads to the films or shows not performing well, which then leads them doubling down again and attacking the fans for not watching the show which the fans said they didn't want. At this point, it is a never-ending circle. I mean, it will change. These phases go around every so often. I don't think it'll change in the next couple of years, but I think we will start seeing change in the next 3 to 4 years. Cycles like this tend to last for about 10 years and then it'll move on to the next thing. It's just the way it works. But what do you guys think? Do you agree with Chuck Dixon? Do you agree that the way adaptions are being handled for TV and film are really poor? Or are you enjoying the adaptions that are being done? Do let me know in the comments below. And that's all from me. I'm off to make a fresh cup of tea.